outside, first place I ever went outside of Liverpool, besides Blackpool obviously for the day, was at Newport, South Wales. I left shipping completely and I went into constructing as an engineer, like a little bit more than an electrician. And my first place I went to was at Newport in South Wales. And then I had an offer to go away to sea with Cunard. And I was seriously thinking of it, but I got the bug constructing because I liked working hard, getting the job done, going out for a pint. An idea of seeing the world, which good enough I've seen a lot of.
In addition to working in England, what countries have you actually worked in?
Oh, a few.
You worked in the Middle East or anywhere like that?
Algeria, Tunisia, Germany, America, Philippines, loved Spain, Portugal. I've never worked in Ireland, and even though my family is Irish background, never even been there for a day trip.
Did you ever consider sort of settling down in any of these countries that you worked in?
I was offered a job at Universal Studios in America as the senior electrician many years ago. I never took it because Jamie, my granddaughter, used to live with us at that time, and it was too big a wrench. Mm-hmm. But I don't regret it, because I went on to see some even better places.
Yeah, but you still never felt that you wanted to stay anywhere. England was your home, sort of thing.
Let's put it this way: if I won the lottery, I'd always have a place in Liverpool.
Yes.
But I'd have a place abroad, obviously. Yeah. But there'd always be a place here in Liverpool for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting. Thank you.
Any funny stories from that? I mean, I grew up watching things like Alvina saying Cat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you have spoken to me at times about things.
Yeah. Over to a different country. You must have had some laughs.
Yeah. I mean, there was lots of deals going on in building sites and everything else, wasn't there?
You know, this is true. The other thing they called a JIB came in for electricians, whereas I was the convener on the second tube of the Mersey Tunnel. And it worked out that labourers were getting, the electricians got all kind of fringe benefits, i.e. BUPET, things like that, more holidays and that. But in wages, we were actually getting less money than the labourers were. But obviously, the union had signed for this, we didn't believe in it. And there was all kinds of strikes up and down the country. The Inland Revenue Office in Liverpool, everyone must remember it, that was shut down for 3 or 4 years, and then when it opened, it was only open for a few years and then collapsed because all the electricians basically went against it. We used to get paid officially, through the bank or whatever, and we used to get a brown envelope every week with cash in. And this is off big, major industrial firms.
So this is what, like backhanders then?
Well, it wasn't backhanded, it was to supplement your wages. And all electricians my age will tell you that. But,
why did they feel they had to supplement your wages?
Because
you felt you
we weren't getting enough paid,
right. It wasn't sort of, as they say, backhanded to you?
No, I wouldn't I'd say I worked hard for my time and to learn my skills, and I thought I deserved a few bob more. Yeah. More. Funny things, though, when we worked in Germany, called Alvina's Ain't Pet. Oh, you could imagine it. It was just like Alvina's Ain't Pet, except that we lived in hotels. Very few lived on the campsites. You never had a job on the job I was on anyway. It was reclaimed the riverbed. It was only sand, that they'd filled it in. But we used to go out of a night. It was great working in Germany. I loved the lifestyle. You go to work 7:30 in the morning with your good gear on, casual gear. You'd get changed into dry gear that you'd left there the night before, that had been washed and dried for you. Then you went out to work, and you worked. You'd done everything. You didn't just do electrical work. You dug the holes for the cables. If you needed a bit of concrete and you'd done all that. It wasn't just connecting wires up and that. And you worked with a lot of great people. Spaniards, Polish people, they were great. A great mate of mine there, Ivan. If I called him Ivan, he hated me because my name's Ivan, not Ivan, you know. But we used to go out, and needless to say, it'd be fun and games, you know, like an Alfie's Ink Pet. And it got so bad that the pubs in Wilhelmshaven, that's where I was based mostly, in the Hotel Eldorado, which is a name on its own, isn't it? We'd get bad out of pubs, and he'd put up no Scousers, no Liverpudlians on one pub. On the next pub along, they'd put no Scotch, meaning not Scotch like to drink, Scotch, i.e. Scottish people. But they were daft because they couldn't understand the difference between our dialect and the Scotch dialect. So you'd go into with the Scotch pub and you say, where are you from? Liverpool. Okay, you're all right, you know. And the great thing there was funny. You'd be sitting round with a gang of you, and he'd be a new lad on the block. He'd just come that day, never been out of town in his life. And he'd be sitting down at the bar, say 4 or 5 of you. And everyone had a beer mat in front of them. They still do it in Germany like this today. And the barmaid would come over, what do you want, you know, and you'd ordered around for 5 of you or 3 of you, whoever was around. And she wouldn't take any money, she'd just take your bar mat. And that was it, and you paid the end of the night with what was on the bar mat. So if you got a young naive lad, or one of the bosses who didn't know much, you know, at the end of the night, I'm just going...
You're putting all yours.
Well, all the beer mat, he got the biggest beer mat with all the ticks on. So you wouldn't spend any, and it was like that most nights, funny enough. And at the end of the night, the fellas with a bit of nous got out first. But always at the end of the night, there'd be murder between the poor barmaid and the people with the beer mats. I never ordered, how come it's this, how come it's that? You know, we're walking along the road, come on, we'll go to one of these strip clubs or anything. Because everything was great. And you never work, well, very rare did you work weekends in Germany. We did, but only the Saturday morning. Because we went in, they basically only work 34 hours a week. They don't believe in overtime, you know. And I enjoyed it. And I was offered, I could come home every month from there. But I enjoyed it so much that I very rarely came home.